Hey, do you want to learn how to use MidJourney to create really cool images like this? Or like these? Or like this? Or this? Or maybe some video game inspired images like these? Or these? Or these ones? Maybe you're looking to do infographic type images like these. Or cool watercolor images like this. Or maybe posters like this. You can create images like these. You can get creative like this and this. Or create totally unique styles like this. I'm going to show you how to do all of these images and more in today's ultimate guide to MidJourney prompting. I hope you enjoy it. Let's dig in. I have used MidJourney quite a bit and messed with all sorts of different styles and prompts and done a lot of experimenting and figured out a lot of different ways to actually leverage the tool to get all sorts of different art styles. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to midjourney.com and you're going to want to join the beta. Now, when you join the beta, it's going to actually open up Discord. So you do need to have a Discord account. If you don't already have a Discord account, it is completely free. Just go to discord.com, download the free tool. So once you have Discord, click on join the beta. It will open up Discord and it will put you inside of the Discord room. You can go into one of these newcomer rooms, one of these newbie rooms, and generate your prompts right in here. You could look at what other people are generating, get some inspiration. But what I like to do is I like to open up the MidJourney bot and just have my own individual bot where I am doing my prompts kind of in private. So over on the right, you can see this list of users. If you don't see this list of users, click this little member list button up in the top and it will show the list of users. And somewhere towards the top, you'll see MidJourney bot. If you right click on MidJourney bot and then click on message, it'll actually open MidJourney in a bot view here. So let's go ahead and go full screen with this. Now, once you're inside of MidJourney, you're gonna wanna tweak some settings. By default, these settings aren't perfect. So what you wanna do is you wanna type / and then settings, and it'll open up a little settings window here where you can tweak some settings. You want to make sure you're using MidJourney version 4. MidJourney version 4, in my opinion, gives you the best quality images. You have different quality settings here. I personally just leave it on the base quality and I'm really happy with the images it comes out with. The main thing you're gonna wanna set in here is where it says remix mode. You're gonna wanna make sure you have MidJourney 4 selected and remix mode. By default, these aren't selected. By default, you'll typically see MidJourney version 3 and you'll see remix mode as off. Make sure you select MidJourney version 4 and turn remix mode on. And that just lets you do some extra cool stuff with MidJourney that you won't be able to do just by default if you don't turn those settings on. So make sure those are set. Now to type a prompt, what you're gonna do is you're gonna type / and then you're gonna type imagine. And then once you hit the space bar, it's gonna give you a little box to start typing your prompt. Anything you can imagine, you can type into this prompt. So if I wanna do a wolf wearing a top hat on the beach with waves crashing in the background. Now, there's some extra little things that you could add to the end of your prompt to get some extra stuff out of it. So if I type -- and then the letters AR, that stands for aspect ratio. By default, you're gonna get a 1:1 aspect ratio. It's gonna give you a square image. Now, I can do an aspect ratio of 3:2. And an aspect ratio of 3:2 is landscape mode. It's gonna be a little bit wider than it is tall. Or you can do aspect ratio 2:3, which is more portrait mode. It's gonna be a little bit taller than it is wide. I typically either do 1:1 or 3:2. I like to do wider images because I make a lot of YouTube thumbnails and things like that. Now, the other thing you can do is you can type -- and then put no, and anything you type after the no is a negative prompt. Those are gonna be things you don't wanna see in the image. A disclaimer on that, inside of MidJourney version 4, at the moment, the negative prompts don't actually work super well. So a lot of times I'll put negative prompts and you'll still find the things that I tried to put as a negative prompt showing up inside of the image. So just be aware of that. The older versions of MidJourney are a little bit better at negative prompts, but the newest version, they're not totally dialed in yet. For the most part, I actually don't even use negative prompts. I let MidJourney just show me what it wants to show me. So let's go ahead and just do this one. A wolf wearing a top hat on the beach with waves crashing in the background, aspect ratio 3:2. Let's go ahead and see what that generates. All right, so it generated these 4 images for me. A wolf on the beach wearing a top hat with waves crashing in the background. So let's say I really, really like one of these images and I want my future images to be in a similar style. Well, what I can do is, let's say I like image number 3 here. Well, you've got these buttons here. The U stands for upscale. So if I press upscale 3, it's going to make a larger version of this third one. So this is image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. So upscale 3 is going to give me another version of this. And so here's the upscaled version of my wolf in a top hat. Now, let's say I like this one up in the top left, but I want it to be tweaked a little bit. Well, if I hit this V1, it will actually give me an extra prompt here. This is part of the remix mode. So if you didn't turn remix on, this prompt won't happen, but it actually allows me to tweak this settings a little bit. So let's say I don't want him to be wearing a suit. I can add the negative prompt, no suit. It may or may not work. Like I said, sometimes the negative prompts don't work very well, but now what it's gonna do is it's gonna give me some additional variations with my new information added to the prompt. So I'll go ahead and do submit, and let's see what that generates for us. So it looks like it gave us some pretty funky results when I tried to do no suit. It put a bow tie on this one. It disfigured the head of this one. So as you can see, sometimes the negative prompts don't work very well. Let's come back up here. Let's do another variation of number 1 here. Let's just leave it the same. It'll generate more variations of number 1 without my negative prompts. And here we go. Here's 4 more variations of that first image that we made. You can see it kind of has some different variations of the cliffs in the background, some different variations of the little suit that they're wearing, a little slight variations of the waves and the hat. And so now I could kind of dial it in more of what I want. So let's look at this one again. I really liked this image. This is a good image. It's a very realistic looking wolf. The waves look great in the background. It's a nice top hat. He's not wearing a suit or anything. I want to make more images that look similar to this style. Well, what I want to do is I want to use the same seed, the same sort of random generated number that was going on behind the scenes to get this image. I want to use that same seed for future images so that it has a similar looking style every single time. So the way I would do that is if I click up on the right up by this add reaction and I click this little envelope button, what it'll do is it'll actually send me another message up here in the MidJourney bot, and it'll tell me what the seed is that generated this image. So now what I can do is let's make another prompt. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this seed to my clipboard, and I'm gonna go imagine a wolf in a top hat walking through the woods with creepy trees in the background. And then we want to go aspect ratio 3:2 again. And then I want to go -- seed. And then I'll paste that seed number in, and it's going to use that same seed for this one. And theoretically, I'm going to get a very similar sort of style of image using that same seed. So let's go ahead and see what this generates. And here we go. So this one up on the top left is using the same seed as the original. It's got some little funky proportions, but you can tell it's a very similar style of image to this original one here. Let's go ahead and upscale it. And here we go. Here's the upscaled version. Now it's got kind of crazy long legs and he's wearing a coat. It looks a little funky. And when that happens, sometimes what will work to actually fix some of that is if we click this beta upscale redo. If you click that, it's actually going to take another pass at it. Now it still looks a little funky. It's got this, funky leg going on here. The legs are still real long. So there's this remaster button. Now if I click this remaster button, let's see what happens. It actually cleaned it up a little bit. You can see the proportions are a little better. It doesn't have a funky leg. That's one of the things you're going to find with MidJourney is that you're just going to keep on messing with the prompts and you're going to keep on trying different upscales, different variations, and eventually you're going to land on an image that you really, really like. All right, so that's really the basics of MidJourney. That's what you need to know to really get going with it. Now what I want to do is I want to dive into some really cool tricks to get awesome art. I get inspired by a lot of other creators and I want to share some of those with you so you can make really, really awesome prompts. So the first one that I want to highlight is this guy here, Guy Parsons. You can find him at Guy P on Twitter, but he actually does all sorts of different prompts on his Twitter account, and then he shares what the prompts were. So I highly recommend following him. So this is somebody that I've gotten a lot of inspiration from, and I'll show you some of my favorite prompts that I've learned from Guy Parsons here. So the first one that I really, really like, because I love the sort of nostalgia throwback kind of imagery, the retro imagery, is this one called Synthwave. And it kind of gives it these like purpley pink, like retro images. So imagine a retro wave portrait of a wolf wearing a hoodie, looking into the camera, futuristic cityscape behind him. Now we're talking. You got this cityscape in the background, a wolf wearing a hoodie in the foreground. Very, very cool. This is something that I could use as like a profile pic on Twitter or something like that. Now, another prompt that I really like is the DuoTone prompt, where it's just kind of two colors. So let's go a DuoTone portrait of a wolf in the forest. Let's go black and green and see what we get with the DuoTone prompt. And there you go. Check that out. It's basically a black and green, just a couple colors. Let's try another one. Imagine a flat duotone portrait of a wolf, red and blue. And there's some more cool stylistic images that you can get with that duotone prompt. Now, another creator that I really liked her art is this Chris Kashtanova. My favorite, the one that I've messed with a little bit that I really, really liked, is 1990s point-and-click 16-bit adventure game. So let's go ahead and add to it a wolf in a haunted house, 1990s point-and-click 16-bit adventure game. And let's see what this creates. See, I absolutely love this style. It looks like an old-school retro video game. 1990s point-and-click 16-bit adventure game. I'm gonna go ahead and do a wolf in a spacesuit on the moon. And this time, let's do an aspect ratio of 3:2 again, so we get that wider image. Okay, so how freaking cool is that? These are so good. I love these so much. Now, in that same style of video game, another creator that I really like who has some really awesome prompts that he's been sharing is this guy, Olivio Sarikes. He's got a bunch of videos about various MidJourney prompts that have worked well for him, and I've played with a lot of the prompts that he's shared as well, and they're just really, really freaking cool. So I'm gonna share some of my favorites of his, but make sure you check out his YouTube channel. I'll make sure I link that up in the description as well. Now, this is a prompt I've actually used quite a bit myself and had some fun with. It's this prompt called 32-bit Isometric, and it creates these little, angled rooms that are really cool looking, that have a retro video game look. Imagine a futuristic living room with a big TV, lamp, some plants, and an arcade machine. And then let's go ahead and add this extra bit, 32-bit isometric, and see what we get out of it. There we go. We got our TV, we got some plants. Don't see the arcade machine in any of these, but these are some really, really cool looking images. Another cool artsy creative prompt that I really like is Phantasmal Iridescent, a beautiful wolf staring into the camera. Phantasmal Iridescent, and check this out. So it gives it this kind of colorful, creative style to the images that I just really, really love. Another cool one is diagrammatic drawing. So let's go imagine a diagrammatic drawing of a wolf. All right, so how cool are those? They're basically wolves that are drawn into diagrams. And if you really wanted to, you could plug in your own text or whatever into each one of these. I also really like using a watercolor sketch. So if you go imagine a watercolor sketch of a gray wolf hunting its prey. So cool. You can literally do anything you can imagine with this tool. I love it so much. Finally, the other style that I really like from Olivio is the stained glass concept. A stained glass window of a wolf showing its fangs. And there we go. We got a stained glass window of a wolf. Pretty damn cool. Now, the last style that I'm going to show you here before we get into some even more advanced stuff with MidJourney is one that I kind of came across myself, and it is the style of Charley Harper, who creates those posters of national parks that you've probably seen everywhere. I really, really like that style. So let's go imagine a national park poster of Yosemite with a wolf in the foreground, mountains in the background, in the style of Charley Harper. And then most of his posters are, tall poster size. So let's do it with an aspect ratio of 2:3. Look at that. Look at how cool those are. I love that style as well. That's one that I kind of stumbled upon because I love these posters by Charley Harper. All right, I want to move into some other stuff that you can even do in MidJourney that I haven't really seen many other people talk about yet. You can actually upload your own images and then have it actually iterate off of the images that you upload. So let's go ahead and upload a picture of my face and see if I can get an image that somewhat looks like me, but in some cool styles. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload, let's go ahead and upload this headshot of myself here and just throw it right here inside of Discord. Now, if I go and right click on this and copy the link, I can actually go ahead and type imagine and then paste this URL in that it just copied. This is that same image there. And then I can add some additional prompts to it. So let's go ahead and say, let's try imagine, paste that URL in, go, a man with a beard floating in space with a spacesuit. And here's what it came up with using my face as an astronaut floating in space. It's not perfect. You're not going to get as close as you would if you were to generate it in Stable Diffusion and trade a whole bunch of images on your face, but that's a different tutorial that I've already made. So check that video out if you haven't already, but MidJourney, you can get kind of close to your look. Now, another cool thing that you could do with MidJourney when you have remix mode turned on is you can actually take two images and blend them together and see what it comes up with. So let's find two images that we can blend together and see how it does. So let's go ahead and find an image of a wolf. Let's go ahead and grab this one here. And let's just see what happens if we get like a dragon. Sure, let's go ahead and grab this one here. All right, so let's go ahead and upload those two images here. So I'm gonna take this one and upload this dragon here, and then we'll take this wolf here and let's upload that one. So let's copy this wolf image, copy the link. Let's go imagine. I'll paste in the image of the wolf, put a space, copy the image of the dragon here, plug that in here, and now it's going to try to remix the two, and let's see what happens when we do that. And here's what it came up with. It took the image of the dragon and the wolf and tried to blend the two together. Now you can even add some additional prompts to it. So let's go ahead and imagine our wolf image here with our dragon image here. And let's add this Phantasmal Iridescent prompt that we were messing with earlier and add aspect ratio 3:2. And now we're talking. Now we got some crazy looking wolf dragon colorful hybrid images that are really creative and artistic. Now there's one last little trick that I want to show you that is probably my favorite thing to do out of all of MidJourney, and I learned it from this guy, Future Tech Pilot. He's got this video that I'll link to below called The Ultimate Cheat Code in MidJourney, and this is just awesome. This is where you generate a cool image and then you blend another prompt with that image to get these really cool artistic designs that have never been seen before. This is what I like to do. So let's try this. Imagine a dripping, colorful paint splatter on canvas. Let's go ahead and start with that prompt, and it'll give us this sort of abstract splatter art. And we get some images that look like this. I'd say I really like this bottom left one. I think that's kind of cool. Let's blend that with another image. So first off, let's go ahead and upscale number 3 here. That's this one. And there you go. We've got a cool upscaled splatter paint on canvas. So let's go ahead and copy this link and let's blend it with something else. So let's go imagine, and then we'll paste this link in here. And let's go a portrait of a wolf staring into the camera. And what it's going to try to do is it's going to take that splatter and make a cool sort of artistic art with the wolf and the paint splatter, and check that out. It kind of blended the art splatter with the wolf, but it does really, really cool with people's faces as well. So let's go ahead and copy this link again, and let's go imagine, and I'll paste that whole image in there. Let's just add Deadpool to the end and see what it comes up with. So check those out. Look at this one. That's so cool. All right, let's do another sort of background here. Let's go imagine blue and green abstract art painting with straight, clean lines. All right, so this is what it came up with. I really like this one on the bottom left, so let's go ahead and upscale number 3. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy this link here, and then let's go imagine. Let's use that link there, and I'm gonna do the Joker staring into the camera with a creepy smile painting on canvas. So check that out. Look how creepy that is. Those are so awesome. And there you go. That is my ultimate guide to prompting in MidJourney. This is a lot of the stuff I've experimented with. There's a lot of creators out there that are a lot better than me at this. And if you're looking for more inspiration for cool prompts, here's some cool resources to check out. So the first one is the subreddit for MidJourney on Reddit. You can see some of the top images that people have created with MidJourney in here. So check out this one, Star Wars, except everyone is a baby. Let's click into this and check it out. Found the prompt here. It says photo of a baby character inside location, wearing blank clothes, 35mm, depth of field, lots of detail, ultra photo real, --Q2, that's a quality setting, and V4. And that's how they got a lot of these prompts here. The next resource that you can use is actually ChatGPT. It will actually write some pretty cool prompts. Write an image prompt for generative art to create a colorful, stylistic wolf. All right, so it says a majestic wolf with piercing blue eyes stands atop a mountain surrounded by a vibrant sunset. Its fur is a mix of fiery reds, oranges, and yellows with streaks of deep purples and blues. The wolf's body is adorned with intricate patterns and designs, giving it a unique and stylized appearance. As it howls to the moon, the colors of the sky seem to swirl and dance around it, creating a beautiful dynamic scene. So let's go ahead and copy this whole prompt here, and let's see what it gives us. Jump into MidJourney, type imagine, paste our entire prompt there. Let's see what it gives us. All right, so check these out. This is from the prompt that I copied and pasted that ChatGPT wrote for me. So ChatGPT is actually pretty damn awesome at creating prompts that you can then plug into MidJourney as well. And then the last resource is, of course, futuretools.io. Now, there's some cool prompting guides that you can find here on Future Tools, and the easiest way to get to them is if you come over and click on Inspiration, so it filters it down to just the inspiration stuff, and then just search for MidJourney. And then you'll see it'll filter it down to the tools that are MidJourney prompts. So there's this one here, which is 100 different AI prompts. Let's take a peek at it. You can see it's a Trello board that has prompts for ChatGPT, Stable Diffusion, MidJourney, Dall-e. And then if I jump back here again, there's also this prompt base here, which is a database of Dall-e, GPT-3, MidJourney, and Stable Diffusion prompts that you can use. And that, my friends, is my ultimate guide to MidJourney prompting. If you haven't already, make sure you check out futuretools.io, where I curate all of the coolest AI tools. It's updated every single day. It has every tool you can imagine for almost anything you can imagine, and it is really cool. You're gonna love it. That's at futuretools.io. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video.